So, as you mentioned, we're talking to folks throughout the day that are doing things inside of this space to improve the ownership experience for EVs. And today we're joined by, and right now, from EV Hover, Mike Mayer. You're the CEO of EV Hover. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
So, when I hear EV Hover, first thing comes to mind is Back to the Future and hoverboards, but I don't think that's what you guys are doing. You guys are doing something that's actually pretty damn cool for how you manage and organize having a charging experience at home, right?
Yeah, no, we manufacture an adjustable swivel arm for EV charging cables. It's universal, it's weatherproof, it extends out either 6 or 9 feet, it mounts to the wall, comes in black and white, and it is easy. It takes the trip hazard away from your garage. We also mount these in commercial parking lots, on walls of buildings, and helps to keep your customers safe, so you don't have charging cables on your sidewalks, in your parking lots. It not only eliminates some liability of people tripping and having, taking on some damage, but also allows you to continue to be ADA accessible, which is a big deal.
I was going to say the important thing that happens oftentimes, and we were talking with Nick a little bit about this a minute ago, is just there was kind of that, okay, we got to get this done. Like, get the charging installed. Just get it there. And we'll worry about all that other stuff later. We just need it installed. But in the truth, you have to create the most useful and safe experience for people. And again, on one hand, at home, it's about making your garage function, not having cables everywhere. But you mentioned too, it's like in a commercial application, this is also important for people that can just pull it across, plug in, and not have to fuss with something that's been on the ground in the water maybe for the last day.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, there's risk of fire if someone runs over your cable or it's sitting in water. The cables get filthy on the ground. So think about mall parking lots, think about city lots that have EV charging. This gets those cables off the ground so that you pull up, you pull the arm out from the wall, grab the connector, plug it into your car, and when you're done, unplug, hang it on the holster, and you can just kind of shove it back up against the wall.
Again, that's some flexibility, what we've been talking about, which is like people need to have an ease of use factor for all these nuances of what it means to charge.
So that's great, because then it doesn't even matter where the charge port is at that point. You can get to the front of the car, the back of the car,
swing
it around. I mean, that's one of the biggest issues I have when I travel, right, is I go to hotels and they have the destination chargers and they're just giant 30-foot cables sitting on the floor that I didn't have to drag.
I see it all the time on owners groups, like the people that have been driving EVs for 10, 15 years now. It's kind of like the OG thing about when you go to Blockbuster, be kind, rewind. It's like, okay, when you're at a level 2 charger in public, it's like, don't be a tool, please recoil, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, but what you've developed though is a way that kind of it takes away doesn't put the onus on the driver. It's like, we've kind of done a lot of that management for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, it helps keep the environment safe. We're selling this into cities. To commercial businesses, garages. We sell the product on Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Etsy. We're on Napa Auto, Auto Accessories Garage. Our website, evhover.com. And it's just it seems like such a simple product. It's purely mechanical. There's no electrical parts to it. It's inexpensive. We manufacture it here in Chicago. The 6-foot retails at $299, and the 9-foot retails at $399. We have a show special that is good till the end of the month with the promo code EXPO to get $50 off. And it ships typically same day or next day right out of our manufacturing facility here in the city.
So So how long have you been driving EVs yourself?
So I can give you the background of how I came up with this.
I was about to.
That's where you're going.
What was the moment that you went, oh God, I got to solve this?
So I bought my first EV in 2020. I bought a white Tesla Model 3 with white seats. It was the most beautiful car I've ever seen. I was so excited.
And then he spilled his first coffee on it.
It looked like a spaceship. It drove like a spaceship. I couldn't have been more excited. I drove it home, pulled it into my garage, and immediately realized I had a problem. The cable was on the ground, and we use the garage as our main entry and exit from the house with a code. So we always will have this trip hazard. So I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I have a dog, I have 2 kids. the dog would walk under the cable that's right near the car, and then the leash and myself
That's always fun.
over. The kids are like riding their bikes over the cable.
Oh, no, yeah,
Plus our
that's
garbage
no problem.
bins, you're dragging those. And then on top of that, I live in Chicago, and garages get pretty darn dirty. It's pretty hard to keep them clean during the cold months.
Seasonal stuff, once winter comes and goes, it's just gnarly.
It's just,
All the salt
it's just
and everything.
Slush,
Yeah.
salt, yeah, it's nasty. So I'm like, this isn't going to work. Every time I want to charge, I'm going to have to be uncoiling and recoiling and touching the cable, which is on my garage floor, which is going to be filthy. It's pretty hard to keep them clean. The
So
floors-
your first response was like a drum of Purell, and you're like,
I know.
no, this
that's
isn't
not
going to
gonna
work. This is unsustainable.
And then I originally started with just a hook on the wall, and then the whole effort of coiling it, I have a 25-foot cable, and it just is like, this is so, shouldn't take this much time. This is more difficult than it needs to be.
Yes.
So I went online, I started researching options. This was back in 2020, and there was nothing except retractable, like tool balancer solutions, where you could pull down from the ceiling and kind of shoot it back up.
Kind of like a retracted sort of. I've seen those publicly too. Yeah.
Yeah, similar to like a vacuum cord, how you can like pull it and it retracts.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, done. I don't need to spend my time creating a product. I can just buy one of those. Then I figured out, well, I have a Tesla, and the charging port is in the back, so this would require me to back in the garage because I have an overhead garage door like most of the United States.
Right.
So I was like, well, that's not going to work. I need something wall-mounted, or the retractable is going to get hit by the garage door every time I open
Yes.
the garage. So I sat down with a piece of paper and started sketching out what I envisioned as a solution.
Okay, so pausing there though, what did you do for work at that moment?
Okay, so I've been working for manufacturers and distributors for almost 30 years on the digital side. And
Okay.
so
CAD creation.
Not exactly, more e-commerce and digital marketing. So I had no background in creating products.
So by definition, like you weren't like an engineer who's like,
No.
all right, here's the metal I want to use. Here's exactly how I need it. So you literally,
No, I
this
didn't.
was legit a cocktail napkin idea
Yes.
by someone who was doing digital marketing.
I started as a web developer almost 30 years ago.
All right.
I was one of the first. So I sketched on a cocktail napkin. I found an engineer. We put together the first version and found a manufacturer here in Chicago. As of now, this is 5 years later, we're on our second manufacturer, also in Chicago, and we're on version 4. So we keep re-engineering the product based on customer feedback.
Great.
Okay.
Customers are loving the product though. You can see our Google reviews, we have 5.0, and on Amazon we're 4.8. And
Who's that one?
no, I'll tell
There's
you.
always that one
There's always
guy.
that one.
Well, we started selling on Amazon 3 or 4 years ago, so with the original versions of the product, people would have issues. So we listened to our customers, re-engineered the product, now we get all 5 stars. But it's the same page, so I'm still dealing with,
Legacy reviews from a
Legacy.
5-year-old product.
yes.
Well, but again, but that's part of what you're describing, though, too, is the EV industry in general has been what you're describing. Is you start somewhere with again, you have that inception moment. You start working on what do you think the product needs to be, and electrification has lent to a lot of entrepreneurial moments like you're describing that many people just didn't even naturally think about. Because again, 10 years ago, it's like I need a thing in my house that can manage my fueling cable. Like I've never even thought of this.
I never thought I'd have a fueling cable at home, but now I do. And now I need to manage where the heck it's going to go, how it's going to go, and then if I buy a different car, now I got to figure out how I'm going to charge that different car.
Right, yeah, but that's the point. You said 6 foot and 9 foot is the optional length, and it lends to the fact that if you do decide to get a different vehicle over time, you don't necessarily. I guess could someone upgrade from a 6 foot to a 9 foot?
Absolutely. So if you buy the 6 and realize you need some extra space, some extra reach, let's say you just bought it with one EV and it reached fine. Now you bought a second EV and you want to go over your first car, you can easily get the extender, which is another 3 feet.
Okay.
And you can add the extender. The install process on this thing is what scares people away from the product, but it's 10 minutes to install. And you'd have to watch the install videos to believe it, but I can explain it in 2 seconds. You find your stud, which actually takes the most time.
There's a dad joke just in every house.
I could see that.
In every house.
Or if you're mounting on cement or masonry, concrete, then it's a lot easier. Okay. So you find that stud, you put in a lag bolt right into the stud. The entire unit comes pre-assembled. So you just hang the unit on that lag bolt, tighten it up, and you put in 2 more below it, so it has more support on the wall, and it is very sturdy.
So you just got to decide on how high up you want it, essentially, right?
Yeah, we recommend, I put mine at about 7 feet in the air. I can reach it. If you're much taller than me, you might want to put it higher. We have customers mounting it between 7 and 10 feet. For the 10 foot, no one can reach that. But you can just use the cable to move it around.
As a leverage point to just get it to move, yeah.
So what we see, we have a page on our website called In the Wild, where we feature some of the most interesting installations. So one of the, because it's waterproof and you can use it outdoors, and people that have outdoor charging don't want people to have access to their charger or this arm when they're not using it, when they're not around. So what they do is they mount it, let's say, behind a fence, and then when they want to use it, like 9-10 feet in the air, they grab the cable and pull it out around the fence and then plug it in. And then when they're not using it, they can just pull the cable back around the fence with the arm fouls.
If it's on their property, it's just like, well, now it is and now it isn't. So this is, again, it accommodates a lot of different use cases like you're describing. And these are things that people, they don't know what they don't know until they get into it.
Exactly.
And again, so kind of rounding things out, I guess, where you mentioned it briefly earlier, but where do people find information? Just evhover.com, is that?
evhover.com is where you can use the Expo promo code until the end of the month. And then we sell it on Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Etsy, Napa Auto Accessories Garage. It's very easy to find. If you just go out and search cable management solutions for my EV, you don't even need to remember the name of the company. We do pretty well with...
EV Hover's a good name, though, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
That is a good name. That does give you got a lot of props for that one.
People wonder if the EV Hover's going to fly. It doesn't fly.
Like I said, my brain went to Back to the Future, but I was like, oh, wait a minute, no. But it's hovering above your head.
Yes.
No, I mean, honestly, Mike, this is a very user-friendly product that accommodates a lot of different use cases. Well, as you described, it could be a garage or not. And I think that's the most important part.
I think one of the biggest benefits this provides is in public, at your business or in the city, it gets these cables off the ground. And now that I'm talking about it, when you guys are seeing public chargers, you're going to keep thinking about like, oh, this is dangerous.
Well, I've had it happen.
Yeah, I've already thought that. Every time I go to a hotel, that's the problem. It's like, this thing's all tore up. It's beat to heck. Some of them don't work because they've been dragged all over the place and stepped on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a great tool for some of these hotels.
Yeah, cable management is something we talk about a lot of times in the EV charging world, whether that's at home or in public. And what you've developed here is a very, again, straightforward to install at home, but it accommodates both homeowners and non-homeowners. It accommodates commercial applications. I am glad that someone decided to finally tackle this. So thank you for having that aha moment.
And I'm aware it's probably the least sexy product that you have here at the Expo, but I'm totally fine with that. It serves a purpose, and it does it well. Our customers love this thing. We've had very few returns. This has been installed in over 2,000 homes and businesses over the last few years, and the returns I get are typically unwrapped, where people maybe move or decide they don't need it.
Right.
But if you buy it, you keep it because it works. It's just simple and it works and keeps your family safe and makes the charging experience so much easier. I'm pulling it off the holster, plugging it in, hanging it back up, and then just pushing this thing up against the wall.
Yeah.
It is very sturdy. The weak point of this product is the wall itself.
I was about to say, I'm like, oh, don't say that. I was like, oh, it's where you might be. The product is phenomenal, but the wall might be the thing.
Good luck trying to break the product. It is steel and aluminum, and it is American made here in Chicago. You're not going to break it, but if you hang on it, you're going to rip the wall down. That's the first thing that's going to happen.
Okay.
Well, Mike, I think you have a new YouTube video you got to show to people, but we'll let you get to that after the expo.